Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a show where we are going to go ahead and discuss different colleges, and we're going to go ahead and guide you whether you should be going ahead and joining Delhi School of Economics, JNU, IGIDR, Gokhale, or other colleges that you have in mind. This is going to be the first session of this CUET PG College Mela that we are going ahead and starting. And the agenda of such sessions is going to be to help you understand different colleges, to help you go ahead and understand the course details of different colleges, to help you go ahead and understand what have been the placement in the past, what has been the batch size in the past, and currently also in these colleges, and also to go ahead and make you understand how the campus of these colleges look, what is the hostel life of these colleges, and what is the future ahead, whether they provide you a good option for students who want to go for PhD or who want to go ahead and make their future in, say, policy making or in public services, right? So we will be taking all these questions today and in the future sessions. Now, for today, the speakers that we have are two very, very good, knowledgeable students from the past. So we have Manya Gupta. She is currently at DSE. She is going to take the first session with you all. And then we have Priyanka, who is going to go ahead and take the second session, and she's from JNU. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and we're going to go ahead and start with this session now. Okay. So Manya, let's start. So go ahead and, let's start by understanding how to avoid this confusion of whether one should be joining DSE or whether one should be joining JNU if one clears the cutoff for both the colleges.
Right. So I think if one has to choose between these two very good institutions, right, they should have a very clear idea of what their priorities are and what they like have some idea about what they wish to pursue later on in life, right? So, for example, for me, I only applied for Delhi School of Economics, and that is where I wanted to get in. I knew that I wish to pursue perhaps a private job later on, and I knew that the placement records of Delhi School of Economics are very good. Along with that, I wanted to understand economics at a different level than what I had did at the undergrad level. So I knew about the academics, the level of academics that exists at DSC. I knew that the faculty is world renowned, and those were some of my priorities. And also, I knew that the alumni base of DSC is very strong. So I had three priorities of mine lined up. One is academics, one was the future, which is placements, and thirdly, the alumni. And that is why I decided to go for DSC over, say, something else like JNU. And for that, they should have their priorities in order.
Okay.
And that's how they should go about it.
Right. So, Manya, do you think the first question that students go ahead and ask is, so for example, let's say that there is a student who has done, say, bachelor's not from Delhi University. So, unlike you, you have done your bachelor's from Delhi University. So it kind of gives you a background of good maths also. But let's say there is a student who has done their graduation from some XYZ university, and now they have got a good score, they have done well in the CUET paper. Should they be going for DSC? Will they be able to survive at DSC?
One thing before anything else, it's difficult to survive at DSC. Either you're from DU or you're not from DU. That really does not matter once you're at DSC. You have to work very hard, follow up in all the classes properly, and understand the course structure very well. Right? But to answer more clearly on if someone is not from DU, we have a lot of students in our DSC batch who are not from DU, or even not, they don't even have a bachelor's or a background in economics for that matter. Maybe they haven't even done economics at the school level. So that happens here. But I don't think after a point it should be that difficult, since I mean it's difficult for everyone. You'll have to put in some effort, get a background, get a better understanding of the concepts that will be used. For example, the teachers continue to tell us like this particular concept will be used, so brush up on that. This topic we'll be reading. So perhaps read up on that beforehand. So
Hmm.
all of that the professors tell us. You'll have to put in constant effort to, in some ways get on the same level for, say, mathematics. But otherwise, DSC, it shouldn't really restrict you from choosing DSC if you don't have a background in economics, or even not, even if you're not from D. So yeah.
So, Mane, I have just heard that I think the result for first semester is out for MA students.
No, no, not yet.
Only for UG, I think, then it is out. Okay. So, usually DSC is known for, kind of failing a lot of people in the first year. So, does that demotivate students from joining DSC, or they should still go ahead and join?
Um, that is one of our concerns as well while we are studying, right? But I think that is not something that should really restrict you from joining DSC, because the kind of education that is offered here is
Hmm.
at another level. The professors are pursuing research from, like, doing research projects with professors from across the world, right? The environment that is offered here, the rigorous academic curriculum, that is something that gives you a great level of economic understanding. So there is that risk, obviously, but if you work hard enough, if you constantly follow up, that is not that big of a problem. Everyone struggles, that is true, but you have a great opportunity ahead of you.
Hmm.
So if you'll work hard, you will get there. So shouldn't be an issue.
Got it. And what is a usual day at DSC? So I remember during our times, before
Hmm.
every class, we had to go to the photocopy shop, Rameshwari photocopy shop, and we used to get these printed lecture notes, and then we had to write within those lecture notes while the teacher was teaching. So how does a usual day at DSC look?
So, firstly, our day is divided into two. So,
Hmm.
if we are in the morning batch or in the evening batch, morning batch starts at 9 because we have a big batch size. So, they have divided it in two halves.
Good.
So, if we have a morning batch, the classes are from 9 in the morning till like 12:45 in the afternoon. And we have three core subjects in the second semester. So,
Hmm.
those happen from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, these classes happen. And we do get those slides like you talked about. Sometimes we get them before class, sometimes after. We make our notes. We have three core subjects right now: game theory and macroeconomics and economic development and policies of India. So we attend that. In addition, we also have one elective.
Hmm.
So, for example, I have chosen labor economics. There are others as well: financial economics, mathematical economics,
Labor
various other options.
taught by Ram Singh?
No, Saurav sir.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. Ram Singh sir taught us microeconomics first semester.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So that is usually how it goes. Since I told you we have another elective, so
Hmm.
those classes happen according to the teacher and the timetable that is set.
Got it.
So yeah, 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours of classes every
So when
quarter.
you Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Hmm.
Tuesdays and Thursdays are for electives or no classes?
Depends. If like your teacher is taking your elective on a Tuesday, then yes, you have classes on Tuesday, even Saturdays for
Okay.
that matter. But we have tutorials. So they give us our problem sets for all the classes. And even if we have any doubts in the curriculum, so then we have two tutors to whom we can go, and they solve the problem sets with us or give us some direction as to how we can go about solving them. Since you might know, they don't really give us direct questions in the exam. So we need to be able to navigate questions that we haven't even seen before. So tutorials happen on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Got it. And how about what's the test process? Do they still take test every Monday, or that's no more there?
No, that's not there. I
Okay.
imagine that would be very difficult for us to navigate if that happened. Uh, So we have two type of tests. One is internals and one is the finals. Internals again depends. For the last semester, it was our first semester. We had one midterm week, very hectic, very difficult week. And on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we had three subjects in the first semester. So on one day, one subject's midsem took place. This semester, they have slightly changed it. So for each subject, we have three teachers. So
Oh,
they have divided into three parts, and sometimes teachers take only their parts midterm. So they have, scheduled it all across, like they happened in March, now April as well, and then some are in May as well. So internals right now, and then finals towards the end of May.
End
We'll
of
be taking.
right, got it. So someone is asking that in microeconomics, they have heard that you're taught abstract algebra also in the course. Is that true?
We do use parts of it. We are also taught that abstract algebra in mathematics because we need to use it in other subjects. So yes, that is used, but that all of that happens towards like the latter part. Firstly, we are only using the stuff that we have already learned in UG, and throughout the course, in even micro, even in econometrics, for example, we learn the concepts that we have already used in UG, but then there are parts which we haven't seen earlier ever. So all of that is mixed in.
Also, the book changes. I think you're using green, is it?
We used multiple. I'm not sure right now about the name. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, I mainly use the notes and the problem sets. It was a like we were taught from different books, and the professors have also changed now, so like different professors probably from your time. But green, yes, we used that, but not sure. There was one more which we used. I'm not sure about the name of that.
Got it. I remember during our time we had Winston Green used intensively during the
Yes,
calculus.
MWG, yes, that is used.
Yes, yes, yes. Got it. So how is has the internship period started? I mean, are the companies coming for internships?
Yes, that did take place, so that has started, and we'll be doing our internships in the summer break, which is June,
Hmm.
July.
So since there has been I don't know, is it a hype or even true that, a lot of students are not getting placed at IITs and the placement was up to just 50%, 45%. Has it impacted DSE also? Was everyone able to get the internship at DSE?
I might give a biased answer here. I'm from the placement cell. But
Okay.
no, the thing is, yes, companies, lesser companies are coming. You might also know some companies in general, like consulting ones especially, have put like freezing hiring freeze right now. So that is there. But the placements are at DSC, and I'm sure everywhere else, they're working very hard to bring in companies. So they're coming, yes, and like we have had a lot of our students have been placed, and uh, there are lots of different opportunities as well. Like majorly DSC data and finance companies come, right? But we have tried to bring in other types of companies as well, which would fit in well with the DSC students. So that, even though some companies have put an hiring freeze, we have newer companies coming in to, somewhat compensate for those, but at the same time, give the students newer opportunities to explore.
Got it. And usually it is from data science background that the companies are coming in, or do you see other profiles also?
We see different types of profiles. Majorly, yes, since DSC has a strong background in quant and econometrics, so
Hmm.
data science and AI ML roles do come to us. But there are like we have lots of banks also coming to us, so finance is also there. Other than that, there are other roles like marketing and sales. Again, a bit of for example, we also have consulting roles coming to us. So there is a wide variety, but yes, majority is data and finance since that's our like strong point.
So, since data science has picked up so much, and in fact, we've gone one way ahead, now we are also talking about quantum computing. So,
Mm.
is DSE still teaching those core subjects only, or have they started teaching R, Python, and, other languages also?
So, what happens is that first year we have our core subjects and we have one elective in the second semester. Second year onwards, we get to choose our electives. They have provided us with one of the options as coding. So, in that, they are teaching, from what I know, I think R and Python.
Okay.
But other than that, for example, in my elective, we get to write a paper.
Hmm.
So, within that, the professor is very encouraging towards us. So, we have been told to use softwares like LaTeX for the writing part and use other softwares. So, for example, R and Python are very much encouraged because they are used in research worldwide as well.
Hmm.
So, we have been learning it by ourselves. I have a background in Python from undergrad.
Oh,
itself. So I have been using that, and lots of people have, or like they have research methodology, for example, at the DU level, I know. So
hmm.
therein people do use stuff like Excel and R.
Hmm.
So at DSC also they are teaching it, but they are strengthening our application of that with the papers that we get to write in our electives. So
Got
there is a combination.
got it. I think writing papers is a good thing. It didn't happen during our time, but it is an excellent way to kind of encourage people for research work in the future also,
Yeah.
right? So I remember during our orientation on the first day,
Hmm.
so it happened so that the person who actually topped DSC during that year, he also topped ISI. And I remember he went to ISI. So, and the reason he gave was that he wanted to do research work.
Hmm.
So during that period, I'm not sure if Pamidua ma'am is still there. She was the head of DSC and she started, in that orientation only, she started saying that DSC also is very renowned for research. Why are you leaving DSC and going to other institutes?
Hmm.
And that is when, kind of, I think that slowly they have started kind of inculcating the research part also into the subjects so that people are not biased towards other institutes and they prefer DSC also.
Hmm. So, yeah, that is true. Like I told you, they heavily encourage us towards writing research papers in our electives. Uh, so even sometimes we request our teachers to, make a like let us write a paper. We will use data, empirical data within that, do analysis on it using our softwares. And the teachers, like I told you, they obviously have lots of knowledge about all of these softwares. So they encourage us that, come to us in our office hours or take appointments and we'll help you with the software. They are doing courses like coding as well in the second year. So that is there. But apart from that, we also get to interact with the tutors who are pursuing PhD at DSC. So we get to get an understanding of how PhD works. Other than that, there are research opportunities that come to DSC. So like for example, RBI is obviously one of them, right? But there are other research institutes that come to DSC for be it hiring or be it internships. So we do get a real life understanding of how things work from there as well. So in general, and what lots of webinars happen, lots of people from say Niti Aayog or from the Prime Minister Economic Council, they come. So there is a holistic understanding of how to get into research and also what can we do when we get into research. So that sort of environment is there, and I would say it is increasing at a very fast pace as well.
Hmm, got it. So, one thing that students always say is that, so during our time, the batch size was 240, but as you mentioned that now you have two shifts.
Hmm.
But whenever we compare DSC with ISI or say JNU, we always say that here the student teacher ratio is very, very high.
Hmm.
So how does one cope up with that, and how does one ensure that you're still able to interact with the faculty?
Yeah. So that is the case. They have big batches. That's why, firstly, that's what they did. They divided us into two. But in any ways, the class goes too quickly. So there is not a lot of time to interact with the teacher, but people take appointments, people go to office hours to interact with the teachers, or even after class, the teacher is just leaving, you get to go ask questions. But also what they have done apart from all this, tutes. So tutorials, they have divided us into 8 groups, and therein we get to go and ask the tutor also. So the tutor, they are directly learning from the teacher only, and they help us navigate all the solutions of the problem sets perhaps, or also the curriculum that they teach, that they're teaching us. So we if like one is working hard and one is actively pursuing, trying to get separate time and better understanding of the concepts from the teachers, they can do it because they actively encourage it. And if we don't ask questions, they say like, did you not study, why are you not asking questions? So that is like encouraged here, and they have tried to improve it over time as well, like increase the quantity, and the quantity of tutes also has been done.
Right. Also, you have faculties at those tea. I don't remember the name of the tea shop.
JPT.
JPT tea stall. Yes. So I think faculties also come there, and sometimes you just kind of can stand there and talk to them about other things also, not related to course, but otherwise.
Yes, even in their introduction, they tell us that you can come to us in our office hours or take appointments, not just about academics or the stuff that we are studying in class, but also perhaps about career or anything else that you want to discuss in economics or even like anything else. Teachers are always encouraging us to come and talk to them and uh, just have a discussion, informal discussion at that.
Got it. Got it. So, if we need to go ahead and finally summarize DSE or JNU, why should one go at DSE?
I would say, firstly, like I said, start off with what you want to do in life. You can't always decide what you want to do at the starting, but you have some idea. Always look for that. Talk to people who are from these institutions. Get an understanding of whatever it is that you want to get. Will you get it at that place? But secondly, always know that you'll have to work hard. You'll have to put in the effort no matter what. So be it the fear of failing or be it the problem of, will I be able to excel here? That should not deter you from choosing a place. And in general, both all of these places are good. They are reputed institutions. But whatever it is that aligns with your interests and your ambitions, you should always go for that. So faculty, academics, placements, alumni base, in basic environment in general, all of these considerations should come into should you should take them into account.
Uh, just one question that skipped out of my mind. So the students are very confused as to, does D school get two separate lists for DU versus non-DU students, and how does the admission take place between the two categories?
So last year what happened, they only showed us if we got our admission, like if I got my admission directly on the portal. There were no lists as such, and so there were no public lists also, like who came first, who came second. None of that took place. But from what I know, there are separate quotas as well for DU students and non-DU students. So if like you are from DU, there are some sort of seats which are some, like I think half of them are reserved for you and half of the seats are for non-DU students. So that is there, but no public lists right now. Yeah.
Okay. And also no cutoff in particular that is officially available on any portal.
No, no cutoff. Since from what I know, like last year we had CUET. This year the CUET is even of I think 300 marks. The results came out yesterday, right? Yesterday or day before. So nothing as cutoff as such has been released. It depends on the difficulty of the paper, how everyone scored, and the number of seats in general as well. So it varies.
Got it. Also, if you could just tell students about the fees at Delhi school.
So we have annual fees of 10,000 rupees, and therein everything is provided, but there is I think 2,500 within that of the library, a Ratan Tata library. So we have the library is accessible I think Monday through Saturday till like from 9 in the morning to 7 in the evening. There is a computer lab, there is separate places to study as well within there. So all of that gets covered, and that is like the fees for D school, yeah.
20,000 for the entire 2 years,
20,000, yes.
and the return is, I think, tenfolds.
Yes, return is tenfold. The fees is nominal. I understand might not be for some people also, but the return that you get, the teaching that is there, and mostly the opportunities that you can get access to if you put in the efforts, that is immense.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So, anyone would like to take any doubt, you can just type in, or we would end the session for DSC. If anyone has any doubt. Everyone is actually very curious about whether they will get at DSC or not. All questions are just related to their marks and asking, whether they will get through or not.
I
Okay.
also thought I wouldn't get in. It's fine. People get in.
Because they don't even have anything to compare with last year. There is no list that they can. JNU for that matter has a list, so they know that, if how does the society induction process work. Okay, anything about societies?
Yeah, so there are not, so if you were in undergrad, you might have seen a ton of societies. That is not the case in like DSC. There is the placement cell, that is the official society that is there. Other than that, there is the research cell, and there is one more. But those, like, from what I know, they are not officially recognized, right? And the placement cell is the main society. They have separate interviews for the procedure. There are GDs, and then there are 2 rounds of interviews. And firstly, you have to fill a form, obviously, and it takes place that way. If you get into DSC and you want to be a part of the placement cell, uh, I would highly encourage it. Great place.
Okay, okay. Okay. I think so that's it. That's it that we had all the questions are answered, I think. So thank you so much for coming today and giving your time today. I think this would make decision a bit easier for students, and you will have your juniors soon with you out of this batch.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting them. Thank you for having me here.
Hi Priyanka, good evening. Hi. You're not audible. Not yet. I think maybe if you can just take the earplugs out and try once. Maybe try to mute and unmute again. No. So in the meanwhile, if anyone has any doubt till Priyanka is trying to connect back, you can go ahead and post it in the live chat and I will answer those doubts for you. DSC or JNU for RBI and IAS? I really think DSC is a better option because once you have done the curriculum of 2 years at DSC, you kind of go ahead and get an edge. You understand a lot of things much better. So when you understand those things much better, it makes it easier for you to create, to crack IES or to crack the DEPER exam. So it's good if you go for DSC. Okay, someone is suggesting go to the settings and give access to microphone to Zoom app. Thank you. If that helps, I must go ahead and give you some gift. What about hostels in DSC? So, during my time, I can tell you that hostels were allocated based on the cutoff, right? I'm not sure what happens now, but it was also based on the ranks that students used to get, rather than just giving it randomly. But the hostels were good, and those students who would not get the hostel service would go ahead and take nearby PGs, which were also affordable PGs. What is a safe score for DSC for non-DU in general? So a safe score for Delhi School of Economics currently, given that the highest is 280 plus, so we would suggest that a good score would be approximately 230 to 235. That's the last where the list can go through. No. Can you try through some other device maybe? Okay, sure. What is a safe? Yes, 240 seems to be a safe score. We can go ahead and assume that if it is 240, maybe you will go ahead and you would be able to get through, but not in the first list. We're not very sure because as we just heard in the session with Manya that the list was not out last time also. So they're just going to tell you whether you clear it or you don't clear it, and therefore we are not very sure whether they will be taking a non-DU student with 240, but according to me 240 is a good score, you should get through. What is safe score for CDS? So as of now, for all good places, I assume 200 to 210 is a good enough and a safe score as long as we are talking about a general category. Whether it is IGIDR, whether it is Gokhale, whether it is CDS, we can go ahead and say that 200 to 210 is a safe score because we need to look at the gap, right? And we're talking about the highest being 280 plus. And at each number, a lot of students are standing, right? Same for JNU beta, we are expecting that 220, 230 is a good enough safe score for JNU. When will the cutoff be released? So, according to the information, the cutoff for JNU is going to release in maximum a week or so. That is what happened last year. But for DSE, last time there was no cutoff, as you heard. Either on the portal it will tell you whether you're selected or you're not selected. So there is going to be no cutoff. Maybe they can change the process this time, but last year there was no cutoff. As someone who has scored 221, what is the last university where I should apply? So if you have scored 221, I would suggest go for at least these four. Go for JNU, go for DSC, go for IGIDR, and go for Gokhale. These are excellent universities, and you should be aiming for these four. What's the difference between financial economics, general economics, applied economics, and all? Okay, so I have gone ahead and I have taken these questions for MSc and Gokhale with two of our students in the past. Those two interviews are also available in case you want to go ahead and look into those interviews. But I would like to go ahead and suggest that if you want to really make your future in say research work and you're not very sure where you want to really be in, so when we go for masters we really don't have an idea whether you would want to do your post grad in your PhD in econometrics or PhD in say financial economics or PhD in say labor economics or PhD in say behavioral economics. You don't know कि PhD करना किस में है. So in case you aim for going for PhD and you're not very sure which subject you would be going in, it's a good idea to go for general economics. If you're aiming for, say, let's say you're audible now. Is it better now?
Hi, am I audible now?
Wow.
I'm really sorry about that.
No problem. I'll just finish out this answer and then we'll
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
So if you are, on the other hand, if you are going for, say, placement opportunities, then general and financial economics are excellent options. In MSc, you also have actuarial economics. And in MSc, you also, other places also, you have agricultural economics. Slowly, agricultural economics has started taking a boom. Okay. And again, there is an interview available where, you can go into this playlist of In Conversation with Bright Minds and you will be able to look there where she talked immensely about how agricultural economics is also growing. So even that is a good option, slowly. Okay, so we'll start the session now. So welcome, Priyanka. After all the struggle, we are here, and we will talk about JNU now. So Priyanka, we just ended the session with DSE, and students are keen to know that if they have got the score, which gives them admission to both DSE and JNU, why should they be opting for JNU? I mean, what are the good points in JNU?
Firstly, thank you for inviting me here. So see, it would depend on a lot of factors. For example, what your goal after masters is. That is the major factor that would help you decide whether you want to go for DSE or JNU. JNU has a more inclination towards research, towards academia, as well as civil services than corporate sector. So someone who is aspiring to become a bureaucrat or someone who wants to go into research. Now, research would be equally good at both the institutes, I'm pretty sure. But that would also depend on which field in research one might want to go in, and if there's a certain professor at JNU who sort of works in that area, versus if there is some professor who works in a particular field at DSE, that might also help someone decide. In terms of if someone wants to go into UPSC, like from my personal opinion, I have seen that JNU produces a lot of civil servants, IAS, IES, all of them. Like from my batch itself, one of my batchmates became an IES officer. So from that perspective, someone wants to go into those things, they can maybe choose JNU. So it would ultimately depend on what they want to do after masters.
I think, that is why I always bring students on board, because I have such a biased opinion towards DSE. I will always appreciate DSE. So, here also students were asking that, ma'am, if we want to do IES, will it be DSE or JNU? By default, I will always say DSE for anything you ask me. So I want other students to kind of come and tell the positive side of JNU and help people understand what JNU is about. So, there has been this news that keeps coming that a lot of classes keeps canceling at JNU. Is that true, or MA Economics goes well, the course goes well, and
Economics goes really well. All the professors there are very amazing. The students are very amazing. Everyone comes there with a goal, that they sort of want to learn as much as they can. And of course, the political part is there, but the classes don't get affected as much, at least for the MA Economics part. So, yeah.
So, how many, classes do happen in a day, and how much hours you have to dedicate for those classes?
So, like for me, what happened was after my first semester itself, COVID happened and sort of that disrupted the entire thing. So usually in my first semester, what was the structure is we used to have classes on alternate days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we would have 1 hour's lecture for each of the subjects. And in first semester, we had 4 subjects. So we would have like either all 4 on same day or 3 of them on one day. So usually around 4 to 5 hours of lectures we had on a particular day. But apart from that, we had enough time to sort of do self-study. And at JNU, this is something that is really promoted, that they sort of promote you to read or study whatever you feel like studying. They don't force you that, this is a particular thing that we are teaching. You only have to write this in the exam. No, that's not there. They sort of encourage students to go beyond what is being taught in the class and study that as well.
Got it. And what about the quant? So how much mathematical the course is? Is it very mathematically heavy, or students who have not done a lot of maths will be able to do that?
See, so JNU offers MA Economics from 2 different centers. One is MA Economics that is offered by Center for Economic Studies and Planning, from where I studied. And the other one is MA Economics with specialization in world economy that is taught by Center for International Trade and Development. So the one that I studied, that is not too mathematically heavy. Of course, there are optional subjects available in second year for someone who wants to study more mathematical subjects, then they can choose those. For example, advanced econometrics, game theory, all of those subjects are available. One can go for that. But if someone wants to, have slightly lighter mathematics in their course, then those options are also available. So there are a lot of theoretical courses like Indian economy, uh, political economy of development, those sorts of courses that one can choose for. So both the options are available. Comparatively, if you would compare MA Economics with specialization in world economy, that is a bit more analytical, a bit more mathematical focused.
Got it. And what about the placement opportunities at JNU? If we leave aside the research side or the government job side, how about the private jobs? Do you have a placement cell? Do companies come in for placement, or you have to look out for jobs?
See, to be very honest, JNU is not that corporate inclined. We do have a placement cell. In fact, I was a member of placement cell during my years. We do have some companies, some good companies that come to the campus and they hire people. But of course, I mean, as compared to DSE or ISI or even IGIDR, it is not too good in terms of corporate. Decent companies do come, they do give decent packages and all. Also, not a lot of people are inclined in going to corporate from JNU. So it's like companies also do not have an incentive to come on campus when the pool itself sort of becomes smaller. But one added advantage is placements happen together for both MA Economics and MA Economics with specialization in world economy. So that sort of increases the pool. And the members of placement cell from both the centers work together, they bring the companies together and all of that. So that helps. But other than that, even like people who have gotten amazing jobs off campus after doing MA Economics from JNU, even my batchmates are doing pretty good who entered into corporate. And I personally got campus placement, so I was sort of lucky there. But they are like decent, not too good, I would say, but they are decent.
Got it. So, what about the teacher-student ratio and the connection with the faculties? Can you talk one-on-one with the faculties, or
Yeah.
what's the culture there?
Definitely. You can anytime reach out to the faculties, you can mail them, you can directly go to their offices and talk to them. The faculty there is very, very amazing. Like they are always available. You would see them in the corridor and you can just go and talk to them and discuss about anything. And they would be there to help you. This is one of the best things I have felt at JNU, that everyone is extremely, extremely helpful, be it the PhD students or be it faculty. And most of the faculty lives on campus itself, so a lot of students even celebrate festivals together with the faculty members, so that is there.
Good. And it has been told that the hostel service at JNU is very appreciated as compared to other places. So will you be able to tell, because I think you're from Delhi only, so
Yeah.
there was scope of hostel, but still, would you be able to tell something about hostel?
Yeah, so I was a day scholar since I am from Delhi itself, but my friends did live in hostels. They do provide good hostel facilities. Most of the people who want a hostel do get a hostel, and mess and canteens and everything are pretty good there. So, plus the charges are very, very reasonable. So, no financial burden is there on students as such. So, in those terms, it's very good.
And what is the fee structure at JNU? So, and if a student takes an admission at JNU, how much will the student spend in 2 years?
So during my year, the fees was very, very nominal. Like it was almost negligible. Like you would spend more in traveling by metro than you would pay for a semester. So some like very low.
I think
And
during
now,
my time also it was, I mean, it was below 100 or below 150, I'm pretty sure.
from what I remember at my time, I paid somewhere around 250 or 300 for a semester. That's all. Now I don't know what the scene is like, to be very honest, but I'm sure the fees would not have risen much.
I think it's not been a lot of time, so I think it would be approximately the same only.
Yeah. It's very, very much affordable. That is what JNU is known for, that they provide quality education with no cost as such.
Got
Even
it.
the food there in canteens and mess and everything is pretty reasonable.
Right. So, what happens post the classes? How is the culture usually at JNU? Are you allowed to stay at the campus? Are there any, like, for example, at DSC, we used to have a lot of talks, right, in a particular room where working papers would be presented and you can go ahead and listen to them. There is a complete timetable that comes every week. So, what's the culture at JNU?
Yeah, even at JNU, we have a lot of workshops and seminars in which eminent professors come and give lectures. And you are allowed to like stay on campus for as long as you want. You can get involved into discussions and everything. You would anytime see a group of people discussing something that that was always there. Like as soon as you exit from your particular center building, there would be a group of people discussing a particular thing. So all of that is definitely there. Even in canteens, people would be discussing something related to the whatever latest is going on or their subject, things like that. So that culture is very much there.
Got it. So, this is something different, but I really want to know. So, when you joined JNU, does it make you political? Does it make you think in a particular way, or you are able to go ahead and still kind of look things unbiased?
You are still able to look at things unbiased. I mean, it totally depends on the person whether they want to get involved into politics or not. There are people who get involved, and even after that they do amazingly well in their careers. But there are people who are totally unaffected by all this. They are focused on their study, just on their studies, I would say, and they attend the classes, go back, and all of that. They are totally unaffected. So it completely
Got it.
depends on the individual.
And what is the batch size at JNU?
For MA Economics, it was around 90 at my time, and the MA Economics with specialization in world economy had somewhere around 30 or 40, from what I remember. Yeah.
So, but still everyone is able to go ahead and connect with the faculty. Those
Yeah,
90.
yeah. One best thing that I felt at JNU was there is no compulsory attendance there. So if you want to attend the classes, you can attend the classes, but still all of the classes used to be completely full. The lectures were so good, nobody wanted to miss them. And we would sort of run at the classes so that we could get seats. So that used to be the thing.
Yes, I think I'm not sure about others, but DSC, ISI, JNU, there is no attendance issue. I mean, you would be encouraged to yourself go and attend those classes. That is definitely the
Yes.
culture. Yes. Okay. So, one last question then, therefore. So, again, if students have to finally decide between DSC and JNU, why should one be going at JNU?
One of the major things that I feel is the culture at both the places is completely different. Plus, DSE is way more mathematical. So, for someone who does not want to, dive deeper into maths as much, they might want to choose JNU over that because you can get less mathematical subjects there. Also, great research opportunities are available, like really great. And we have some amazing faculty, but that is there at both the places, so we can't really compare. In terms of environment, you would see a lot more people preparing for civil services for someone who might want to go into civil service. So those are some of the main benefits, I would say. But then again, both the institutes are sort of at par. You can't really say. It would depend on an individual's choice and goals ultimately.
And I think at JNU also, the faculties also offer you to work with them on some research in case you want to kind of become their RA research assistant, or they also provide you some stipend and you can work with them also, right?
Yeah, research opportunities are available. So professors do keep working on something or the other, and you can assist them in that. Other than that, the PhD students also require research assistants, and you can assist them as well. And other than that, also, like if there are certain outside opportunities that faculty members or the PhD students come across, they would let you know. They would help you, guide you in order to join that. So research opportunities are great there. In fact, research is very much promoted there. For each of our semesters also, we have to write term papers for certain subjects. So
Each sem-
those, for some subjects. For example, in first semester, I guess we had term papers for 2 of the subjects. So like that, in each semester we are writing term papers. So by the time you end your masters, you are already so acquainted with doing research and writing those papers with citations and everything. So that really helps.
Got it. So, thank you so much for your time today. I will just scroll through once if anyone has posted any other doubt. We can otherwise end the session. So,
Sure.
hostel facility we have answered. Okay. With world economics we have answered. DSE or JNU for RBI IES we have answered. I think we have taken all kind of questions from here. Okay, so thank you so much for your time today, Priyanka. And when I was talking to you, it kind of hit me, that the kind of hard work that you used to do. And during your time, it was so nice that we had those physical classes where, kind of I interacted. I remember, I think we used to have these classes for 4.5 hours, right?
Yeah,
And,
in a
and
day.
you won't believe that we just have online class for 1 hour, and and students are like, ma'am, even if I will extend it beyond 1 hour, they will be they'll ask me to just stop, ma'am, let's do the thing tomorrow. So I think your batch and other batches had so much sitting power, which the current generation is slowly losing out on. So yes, so I miss teaching people physically in the physical mode. It was very nice rather than just having those,
True.
right?
Even I miss those physical classes. Even we had to do 3 of our semesters online, and it wasn't very good. The physical classes are much better.
Much, much, much better. Yes, true. Okay. So thank you so much for your time, Priyanka, today. And best of luck for your future. And I hope that you keep shining like you're doing now.
Thank you so much, Arzu, for having me here. Thank
Thank
you.